Good day, everybody. Today we're going to be looking at how to create reports and form in Microsoft Excel. Before I do so, I'm going to ask you to subscribe if you have not subscribed before. Like the videos, share the videos, please comment because I want to hear from you as well as watch the ads. Now, in terms of creating reports and forms, it is pretty much easy and straightforward. So I'm going to start with how do you create a report in Microsoft Access. So the first thing you need to do once you open your database with your information is to click on the Create tab. So you're going to click on Create and then you're going to click on Report Wizard. Once you have clicked on Report Wizard, you will then select the table for the report, as in the table you want to take your report from. So let me use a table that is already in here, which is the EDPM Student Info table. From that, you will select the available fields that you need in your report. Say we want everything in our report. We will click on the double arrow that is pointing towards the section that says Selected Fields. After you have done that, you will then click on Next. After you click on Next, you will select the priority in which you want your report to be in terms of the order. So say I want subject first. I'm going to click on Subject and then send it over by clicking on the arrow pointing to your right. Suppose I want the teacher name to follow. I will then click on the teacher name and click on the arrow to the right, and then first name would come next, then surname, and I would have my ID last. All right, after you have done that, you will then select Next. You will then sort. Suppose you want it to be sorted in ascending order or descending order. You can do that. I'm going to select ascending order. It is already in ascending order, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to let it sort it by ID and then select Next. You can choose the layout that you want and then the orientation in order for it to look a bit more presentable. Usually the orientation that we use for report is in landscape, so I'm going to change the orientation to landscape, and the layout I'm going to let it remain in stepped. And then after you have done that in terms of selecting your layout and orientation, you will then select Next. All right, you would want to preview your report. By the way, you want to give your report a name, so you're going to select an appropriate name or type an appropriate name. I could say Teachers Subject Report. After you have done that, you will select Preview Report, and after you have selected Preview Report, you'll then click on Finish. So there you go, you have your report showing, and what it does is show you the subject, which is EDPM, the teacher's name, as well as the students who are in that particular class. If you notice, you have EDPM for the subject, Reid-Simpson for the teacher, and for the students you have Kerry Reid and Dean Salmon. Alright, so that is how you go about creating a report in Microsoft Access. This is just simple. You can always do much more depending on what is required of you in terms of what you should report on or what your report should be on. When you're finished with that, you will select Click Close Print Preview. There you go, you have a better view in terms of how your report would look. All right, the next thing we're going to be looking at is how to create a form, and this one is even easier. Of course, you'll have to click on create to create your form, and then form. And there you have it. That's your form. See how easy it is? Your form is usually derived from the tables you created with the relationship, right? So the two tables that you have created, it would use it to create your form. And of course, you can select, if you want to select a particular table, you can also select that particular table. All right, this form is from the EDPM student info table, as you would see at the top, EDPM student info. So it tells you that that form is from the EDPM student info. But like I said, if you wanted to create a form from, say, the student table, you could do that as well. All right. All right, so another way you could do that is to go to create form wizard. And then of course, since I had created my form from the EDPM student table, this time I'm going to select the other table, which is student table. And then of course, suppose I want everything that is in the available fields to be in my form, I would send over everything by using that double arrow. Then select next. You could leave it in columnar. You have a different style, which is tabular, data sheet, justified, right? So whichever way you like your form, you can select it. Select the style that you like. All right, so this is, I'm going to use justified now, and then select next. And of course, it is telling you where your form is from, which is from the student table. And then you're going to click on finish. And then there you go. This is how your form will look when you go or do it from the form wizard. All right, so there you go, guys. You have two ways in which you can create your form. Guys, I'm going to remind you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch the ads. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for staying with me. Bye, guys.